Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the DAC 2017 CIS Qualifiers, our final best of three here in the group stages. It is Vega Squadron facing off against Comanche. I'm Lyrical, going to be joined as well by the illustrious Trent Pax as we see who it is that's going to move on in this one and faced off against the pretty stellar squad of Effect as they get into the playoffs. How you doing?
Oh, quite well. Again, another rematch. So we already saw this one. It went 2-1 in Vega's favor, but they put up a good fight. I also do remember in a different series we had the Centaur Warrunner for Comanche, and that was it ended up being mid with a safe lane Terrorblade. So there was also a Pudge in that one. I guess we're just missing the Witch Doctor and the Darkseer, but the Darkseer is already banned out, so we're not going to get the full same 5 heroes for them. And we're also still not sure if this will end up being like a mid Centaur or anything like that as well.
Yeah, that's the thing that a lot of people might not expect, but it does occasionally come out, and I think that's really, to me, been one of the defining features of Comanche and looking at their lineup, and they just aren't afraid to run anything anywhere. Colony's been playing a great off lane pretty consistently. ILTW has had pretty good showings as well. He had an Invoker game the other day where he was running out of control, and of course the Centaur match that you were talking about. So by and large, this lineup to me felt like one of the teams to really keep our eyes on. Even though Vega Squadron has these big name players, Comanche aren't a team to sleep on. Yeah,
and in their victory over Vega, they also had the Terrorblade. So we've been talking about the success of this hero, how well it's been doing, but for the most part, it's been later on in the draft. You don't want that whole draft for them to try and figure something out against them. And so this is kind of what ends up happening. You get like a very early winner Wyvern. Drow, TB, pretty much the two biggest reasons to snag this one up.
10 seconds
so
remaining.
TB here so early they're going to opt for it. But in their series against Empire, which sent Vega down here, they also lost that third game to a Terrorblade. So maybe Comanche just like, we play this hero well. We beat them with this hero. They just lost to someone else with this hero. Let's just do it. Just grab it early on. I don't remember the last time I saw a first phase Terrorblade, but I'm okay with it. With the Ember Spirit too, maybe we'll head back into like a 5th pick Invoker potentially. We want like that Tornado and whatnot to try and deal with him that way.
Yeah, that might be kind of interesting, and we've already talked about how ILTW is comfortable on that hero. The Winter Wyvern, to me, is kind of an interesting one. That's obviously a hero that's kind of fallen out of favor, but was used a lot to counter out Meepo at some of those big LAN events. Sort of a similar thought, I guess, against Terrorblade. Just destroy him, cause issues like that.
Jeez, you just gave me flashbacks to Chappie's Meepo. I just realized we haven't seen too many Meepo bans other than those Empire games lately.
Yeah.
So perhaps I don't know. I guess these guys, not a team playing Meepo, at least certainly not in this qualifier, and it doesn't appear anytime recently either. So we won't be blessed with that today, unfortunately. I gotta say, although I don't like playing against Meepo, he's fun to cast for sure. Same thing with Pudge, really. No one likes playing against Pudge.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Yeah, the Pudge on the enemy team, 10 out of 10 hooks. Pudge on your team, not so much. Every time. Yeah, it's just one of those laws of the universe.
So Sand King, this is another hero that with the Ags change now, where you're not applying caustic to all the illusions. That is what changed with that, if I'm not mistaken, right? I want to make sure I don't go off on some tangent.
Well, how you can buy Ags and slap it on top of them all?
Well, it doesn't apply it onto all of them anymore. That's the thing that I feel like was the... Anyways, regardless, he's got a ton of AoE magical damage to deal with these illusions. Do you think that this is a good answer with Wyvern? I feel like whenever you get like 2 of those big AoE spells, sometimes there's the possibility that Wyvern Winter's Curse just sort of throws a little bit of a problem your way.
I think it's okay with Sand King specifically. It's actually like a lot better than most other ones, because you think about like Ravage or something. It's one of those instant ones you just like blink it and you Ravage, and sometimes you just happen to layer on top of your Winter Wyvern or something. Sand King, if he sees the Winter's Curse, he doesn't need, like, he physically can't even like screw himself over because he still has the channel that he at least has to go through, right? So there's at least 2 full seconds where he's going to be winding that bad boy up before anything too awful happens to you. So I think it's more like it's just to be a great setup to try and use TB to annihilate one of his allies and work from there. And as expected, there goes our Invoker ban, kind of what one would usually opt for against the Ember, especially with how well ILTW played it in the previous time. And we'll see what Vega want to take for their own position one. So far, good split push already with the Ember Spirit, heavy magical damage. Control on Comanche is decent. They have the telekinesis, they have the Pudge ulti, as well as just Centaur Hoof Stomp too. So the more slippery heroes like Lincoln Sphere, I don't think you'd want to opt necessarily for a Weaver.
Yeah. That might be a little bit too much. I did do a little bit of double checking, fact checking myself, and it was changed in 7.0 where the Burrow Scepter or Burrow Strike no longer applies caustic onto all the illusions, only the real heroes. So not as much of a complete and total counter as it was to the Terrorblade before. But Troll Warlord, somebody's actually been seeing a little bit of play recently, and then the Omni. So it is going to be the mid Centaur again. Yeah, and we'll get our off lane. Well, unless they send the Omni mid or something like that, which or Pudge.
Could be possible. That would be pretty fun.
That would be great.
It's certainly going to be some interesting cores here for Comanche. But yeah, Troll Warlord. It wasn't Vega who picked it the other day, was it? No, we just had it yesterday for someone, and that was up against Comanche. That was friends who played it.
Oh yeah.
So that's interesting. They'll be playing the Troll again.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hopping into game number 1, this elimination matchup, the Group B lower bracket finals. Comanche facing off against Vega Squadron. See who comes out ahead as we hop into the game.
10 seconds remaining.
It looks so pretty every time, but it's just every time also we're still at this screen. I got to get my timing better on that.
Yeah, but you don't want to miss those TPs and wards and stuff. That's not worth it.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's value time.
Do we have the pause?
Photo.
Any pause? No pause.
Oh, no, we're just going.
They want to battle.
Ready. They came prepared. So the more I think about the Troll, I like some aspects of it. I like that he's a Shadow Blade builder. I think that's going to be very handy up against the side of Comanche. Even into the Silver Edge as well later on isn't too bad, but mostly just trying to find out this Terror Blade, catch him up, get that surprise initiation. That's good stuff. Ulti, relatively worthless this game. Let's be honest. It's pretty trash. Like, who is this really helping out? This is... probably one of the worst troll drafts I've ever seen in terms of actually abusing the attack speed. No one is getting anything right now.
I mean, that Winter Wyvern applying the debuff onto a bunch of heroes. It's great.
Yeah. Maybe this will be an Aghanims or something there. That's the play. Whew. So that's not so hot. But other than that, we saw the exact same thing where they went this troll up against the TV for friends. I guess maybe just hoping for like the blind, trying to work it that way up against the TB, but he does not have very many friends this game.
No, definitely not. Well, and I'm looking at this too now, and you see the early movements that go out there. They're placing wards, really heavy emphasis on trying to block out this camps. And this is something that we've seen from Vega a couple of times. The Sentry Ward and the Observer on opposite ends of the spectrum, so they can't get the D ward easily. Really heavy prioritizing that, and it looks like Fingers not quite quick enough as Mag was able to pick up that bounty rune. So good stuff for Vega, getting 3 of them.
And we'll end up with, I guess it's expected, the mid Centaur. Not usually what you want, or rather, I guess not usually what you are expecting to come out here, but this is what we had the other day from them too. So they're right back at it. They're going to give Hakan his Omni Knight. Played a fantastic Darkseer in our previous series, and certainly expecting a lot of this one, but he'll have an okay matchup against Mag.
Oh, that was pretty nice down there. Seneko is probably going to pay for it, but realizing that he wasn't going to be able to get the block off on both of these, he goes to block the off lane, and Seneko trying to get the D. He's going to end up being pulled back and killed. So first blood going to Misha, but they do at least stop the side pull for the first wave. They don't have a great answer afterwards.
And that is one thing we haven't discussed. With both Rubik and Pudge, plenty of shenanigans could go down here on the side lane as well as in the mid. For now, they're actually going to harass and do things in lane, which is just disturbing to see these two heroes do, considering all the ridiculous pulls and shenanigans.
Speaking of problem, LTW is running after G. This very tanky and battling it out here in these early levels. No point right now. At least he's almost there in terms of his mana to be able to cast another Hoof Stomp, but no points in Double Edge means he wasn't able to find a kill.
Yeah, and those are just Tango's getting delivered as well. No salves or anything here, so he'll just try and keep that regen flowing and make sure he can't be burst down by G. Not too much of an issue, really. Snako. Yeah. All right, he's baiting. It's just throwing stones on top of him.
No respect at all.
Chuvash now level 2 up top. trying to make his first big play.
And they might go back in on this now. Snako and G heal back up at the shrine, and LTW, not the most survivable person at this point in time in the game. Does have those double edge, but it's been a little bit rough. Dropping another stone on him. Why not?
Oh, all right. Well, Snako's just, he's heading out, man. He's got that arcane rune. Just move around the map. 30 mana. Guarantee himself a bounty rune on the bottom.
I wonder if it's because he knows he's going to be coming back mid and he just wants to get him off cooldown, since for a while he's not going to be dropping them probably. And the arcane rune increases the remnant charge respawn, I think. I'm not sure if that's correct, but I think it is.
Yeah, it does. I believe that got fixed. It didn't used to, but I'm pretty sure it does now. Same thing with Octarine Core.
Cool. Well, passive laning stage so far. It does look like Omni's been able to get a lot out of this bottom lane facing off against Mag, and that one going relatively even mid, a little bit into the favor of the Centaur. Who do you feel like is more happy with the way that this game has started?
I'm watching now, and now I'm not sure if it is. The Arcane Rune, I'm just wondering. Maybe it didn't get patched. I know there were issues with the Octarine Core and Arcane Rune and those charges and stuff like that, but either way, in terms of our advantages and whatnot, things looking, I guess, as you'd expect. Hakon's got a Soul Ring up, so he's pretty much set down here. He still has 3 tangos. No real problems for him. Mag was never really in danger anyway, so this is just trades going on. We haven't had any weird pulls happening, so Snako hasn't had to interrupt mid at all. He's had quite a few rotations around to snag up some banners, and now he goes back to the mid lane.
Ooh, this Chuvash rotation, though, this might be what they need. Snako going on at the exact same time, and now revealing the smoke. They can get into range, possibly. Hook is still available. G gonna get ran down. They pull him back in. Rod as well. The double edge is more than enough. They find that kill. ILTW making it happen.
Yeah, Snako almost had the save there. I think he was trying to body block and trying to absorb that hook instead for G, but couldn't quite get there in time, so he doesn't have his booties up yet. A little bit too slow, but he will find himself a DD rune, and once again, he'll roll on in here, steal up this bounty.
No, they're not going to get there in time. Just healing up at the shrine. Chuvash, in the meantime, does get this D ward, so more help going back their way. And Comanche looking good in these early stages. Maybe not what everybody would have expected against a very star-studded Vega Squadron lineup.
Yeah, they've shown what they have to do, or rather, they have what it takes to do that against like friends as well. I think people weren't expecting too much out of Comanche, but 2-0'd them. Yeah, the Afterlife Nyx wasn't enough.
Yeah. And now dropping some more wards mid. Ember G is still going to have some trouble. Still not into boots, but does have Poor Man's Shield and a bottle. Looks like they want to try and go in on him again. Only level 5, but Chuvash is going to at least push him back to the tower.
It's going to be a lot of pressure on Hakan to get those repels off timely on the Terrorblade as once that Veil's out. Snake going a little bit of trouble here. The hook, the lift should probably be dead.
Yep. Got the Fade Bolt, kick away, trying to roll. Nice little play there. It's the classic by the Earth Spirit. Is going to get killed off by the Ancients, though, so a little unfortunate.
All right, there you go. Yeah, so not waiting on the roll from Misha there. Just letting him... I guess he felt like they had the damage and wouldn't have to worry about it, but then that allows him to get the kick roll escape. Nicely played. And, well, he'll take the deny over handing over some gold, but Mag, he should be okay himself.
Ooh. Didn't realize. I don't think he spotted the Pudge there.
Well, it didn't seem like it, because they're both still hunting for each other.
Yeah.
Well, mostly Chuvash hunting for him, I suppose, but...
I'll look in. Can he find it? He spots him out now. I believe, at least.
Level 3 purification as well, so they have a lot of damage to throw out if they can get a grab on him.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they... Mag's been playing this around the outside edges so well. In the meantime, there's a rotation that's going up towards the top lane, and they might be able to punish Arc here. He's left alone. Yeah, now they spot Mag. And looks like Arc is going to get out. Still setting up for a dive, but I don't know if they're going to be able to find him. Yeah, he's just going to TP out of there. Heads down bottom, and it looks like instead they're going to try and push this tower. Hook connects on a Mag. Nice play there by Chuvash. He's going to burrow strike out and away. Do they get him? No vision. They weren't able to get there in time.
Yeah, take the Metamorphosis though and turn it into a push, but Troll can kind of do the same, so this is nice. You're worried about that early Metamorphosis and just how much they can done in terms of objectives. With the Troll Warlord, you can all just pop ulti and try and get some at least somewhat decent trades back for it. Winter Wyvern as well, having that against the TB, great, so he can annihilate his allies, as well as being able to be one of the best early game defenders of towers from a support.
Yeah. It is a little bit unfortunate right now that only got level 4 for the Winter Wyvern and just now picking up that level 4. So 2 points in Splinter Blast. Not amazing at counter pushing, but with Mag here, it will be enough to at least force Comanche back.
Yep, that's the end of the Metamorphosis. And then top lane, though, they've been wailing away at this the whole time, too.
Yeah. No more Glyph available, and Hakon comes in, but they've kind of done their damage already.
I can be pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
G as well. He's ready to make some rotations. Just kind of sitting mid. He's got his TP. He's hoping there'll be a dive, probably. Someone will go a little bit too far, and he can come in with his remnants and get something done that way before he's even done with the Veil. But once he actually has it up, there is definitely pressure on the Omni Knight. Like, he needs to get those timely repels on top of Arc, or he can just be annihilated instantaneously from purely remnants. I mean, look at that Burrow Strike damage on the Arc. It's half his HP.
This is the problem, though. Mag already used it, and now trying to chase him. The Stampede, they're not finding him. Wow. That was not the way that was supposed to go, and they realized they're not going to be able to kill him as Burrow strikes back up. That should have been a kill, I think. 4 points up in Double Edge, and they back out. They see the rotations.
Been close.
I think they spotted the smoke. Maybe not. They might have TP'd in with smoke, so yeah, everybody's just backing out from Comanche.
Tell you, Ditcheraw's been all alone up here. He has just been allowed to free farm the entire time. He had enough support that his life was fine. Mostly the fact, I guess, that Misha, as well as Chuvas, just wanted to get so much more done in the other lanes that they kind of quit their focus up in the top. That should allow this tower to fall relatively soon. Put even more gold in Ditcheraw's pocket. He's going to go for the Helm first. We'll see if he goes back again for that more old school build of the Solent that we had the other day from Friends.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. I liked it. It felt very strong. And granted, it was also just, you know, Friends being so far ahead at that point, or being in a really good position at that point. But, I don't know, we'll have to see how it works. The Pudge had an Invis rune and was over there on the mid lane, but couldn't end up making anything of it. He's hiding now in the trees up top, so they might decide to actually put the pressure on Ditchia, but it smells something coming. He's not actually...
See Misha try and get 6 would be nice. Same thing with Chuvash. These supports very close right now. Kind of lingering around some waves, maybe hoping to get that done. And Misha will now move mid. Half a level to go. I'll have to split it with Arc though. Damn greedy Terrorblades. Can't even help out a poor Rubik.
So leading in the
thinking about a top.
Yeah, they really want this. And they might just be able to secure it. Man, Ditchia taking a lot of damage there from that purification. But actually, Chuvash drew aggro here with this range creep, so they realize Pudge is in the area, and Ditchia just going to TP out and away. They're going to pressure bottom.
Yeah, the ward spots the Rubik and the TV coming through. Just like, all right, we're out of here. And again, that trade, though, I mean, the Troll, the logic is sound for sure. I mean, they're already bottom, they're pushing. The Winter Wyvern not only helping the D push, but just the actual split push itself, kind of similar to our Jakiro earlier today.
Yeah.
Get a lot of the same stuff done, and now even preparing for a tier 2 defense in case they keep pressuring, knowing that Metamorphosis is still relatively decent duration left on it, and instead they're actually going to head mid, hope that Ember overextends.
Chuvash makes the smart play as well. He TPs into the shrine, realizing that's a almost in some ways better place to fight than by the tower. And it will scare away Seneko as he's going to go down here, pick up a little bit more golden experience. So everything's still very static at this point. Taking a look at the net worth, they're going to get a hood first for the Centaur. So going a little bit more of the beefy build rather than the initiation play. Do you like this?
Yeah, I think they've already taken the tier 1 top. They have decent control over the enemy jungle. Like they're not super worried, I guess, about trying to find a bunch of fights or anything like that at the current moment. Khan's happily farming away. Rubik is still not quite level 6, so he's not really getting that eager. And the fact there's an Ember on the enemy team just makes this hood unbelievably valuable, as well as just helping yourself out for your own double edge. So it's a good game to be a Centaur. It's plenty of magic damage being pumped out from everyone. Probably even going to finish out that full pipe even before the blink, because he does have it queued up. We'll see if he actually follows through on it. If he gets, you know, maybe some big influx, he might be tempted to go straight in for the blink dagger.
They're going to get the D ward here as well. That does sort of signal that the smoke could have been coming their way, and Comanche will hold off on that. Bottom lane, the Sand King with the newly minted blink dagger was just getting ready for anybody to move in that direction, but this to me feels like it's going to be probably the big reveal as they pressure for the tier 1 tower in the top lane. I don't know if Comanche are going to come and try and contest this, though.
Yeah, they've had a couple nice D wards as well on the side of the Radiant, too. So Vega, not exactly sure what everyone's up to. They'll plant this ward down and see if they can get a better idea of the scope of the defenses here, but looks like they've now figured out this tower is just going to be free. And that blink dagger's done, but so's that pipe. He did commit fully for it. Very defensive indeed. And they'll be relying on the Stampede to initiate, but if they get jumped on and maybe they're not expecting this pipe, that could be a pretty big turnaround here.
Oh, and here we go. The movement in. You have a whole lot of damage that can come out from this Comanche side. They don't have Dragonlance yet there on the Terrorblade, but looks like they're going. This could just be Roche. No, they're going to take a fight.
There's no Winner's Curse here, too, whereas both supports on the Radiant have their ultis.
Oh, Misha gets revealed. They're on the high ground, though, and Vega, they're going to smoke, go back in now. Yeah, if they fight near this shrine, this would be really, really bad. Ember Spirit is going to back out and away, but there's Arc immediately going to spot out Mag. They have the shrine, though, going to be able to pop in just a second, gain all the heals there, and they're on top of him. Arc turns onto Snako, a ton of damage. That is going to be the Cold Embrace, trying to keep him alive, but Ditya Ra going to be controlled and killed off. So that's 2 down, and that was just a really poor decision, I feel like, for Vega.
That was weird. I don't know, I guess they just felt like they were too strong with the vision or something.
Yeah.
And felt like they could fight, but they were quite incorrect. It's very difficult, like, for that to turn out well, honestly. You're running up into a team that has Centaur ulti too, so that even when you have a vision advantage, they're always going to get a position advantage, unless you stun, like, the Centaur. And even if you stun the Centaur, there's an Omni back there somewhere too, so very difficult to get the right target, and the shrine being up was really just kind of like the crown jewel of what the hell are we doing.
Oh, there's the epicenter down. Pipe has already come out, though, and the Guardian Angel as well. They turn it back around. Hakon taking no damage from that Winter's Curse, and can they actually kill them off? Chuvash did already use his ultimate. Is going to be brought down, so a couple of ultis down, not a ton of tower damage being dealt, and they actually had to hold on to that triple remnant from G because of the Winter's Curse.
Yeah, the repel too. That was very nicely done. It was like, there's so many defensive options stacked on top there too from the Radiant side, let alone the Curse. And game was saved.
Dang.
At least they did stop the push, I suppose. As well as G having a haste rune, so maybe he can find himself a kill somewhere.
Yeah, still tough without those remnants to deal that extra bit of damage. And LCW is going to go back for an Ags now, not even opting to go in for a Blink Dagger. This is kind of an interesting way to look at it, because when he played the mid Centaur before, he did go for a Blink in the early stages.
Yeah. The magic damage is just... I mean, we're talking about how there's so little value to troll ultimately. You look at the heroes that are on the dire side, it's all magic. So I can certainly understand wanting that pipe so early on in the game, and we also saw that damage reduction from the Agnums was so good with the Terrorblade. They just could not kill him before Sunder unless Centaur was disabled. Yeah. It's just actually impossible.
Yeah, it was a really great combination that we saw there. Sioma in the mid lane, he did end up spotting the hook that went by him, but now a second one catches him right on the edge. And well, with that purification, barely left alive. He has Winter's Curse in this too. This might actually stop Comanche from moving any further forward. I don't know if they can fight into this.
That magic wand has paid off twice now. Both times merely the stats keeping him alive.
Chuvash. All right, they get the tower nonetheless. And still feeling comfortable taking this fight, I guess.
Another objective down. Another use of the Metamorphosis. They're doing a good job of keeping that momentum rolling. As he heads into their ancient camp too. I'm sure their eyes are at least considering Roche, but it's nothing really helping to accelerate them into it, especially with the winding down Metamorphosis.
Yeah, they're just gonna play this one safe. Terrorblade is still one of those heroes. You just get that Dragonlance up and you're basically good to go. He's going to build back into the Yasha next. But top of the CS, or net worth rather, and you got Centaur, who's also quite high up there. He's going to actually go back for the Blink first. So feeling like they're ahead of enough. They're going to make this work. Well, actually not that far ahead, honestly. Vega's further ahead in experience.
Yeah, G's been getting a lot of split pushing done too, which is Really helping them out too in terms of his overall net worth. Like, he's what, 1-1-0. He got their 1 kill, did it, but the fact he's got his bots up, and we talked about the kind of the lack of control they have, and now using that helm as well as the fact that they have the Troll Warlord. It's Alpha Wolf.
Yeah, that maxed
good
out.
Option here for the Dire.
Maxed out Fervor. It's quite strong. They actually do realize now, though, that Roche is being taken. Can they get here in time? Starting to drop down very low as Arc is going to head in. They use the reflection already. Misha going to get gone upon. They drop and pull back in with the hook. So a little bit off the mark. LTW onto Ditcher Rock. Can they find that kill? They are not quite able to bring him down. And Chuvash completely left alone. The epicenter a little bit off the mark. Can they actually stay alive through this? The pipe has already been used. Low. Turn it back around. Nicely played there by Misha. Seneko is going to go down. Hakon barely surviving through this. TPing back home is going to live.
Okay. I think that was actually a saving hook that he threw out there from Chuvash too, because he was worried about the initiation that could have came in onto Arc. So it was pretty nicely played. Unfortunately, they couldn't get that Aegis. That would have been the real victory there for Comanche. If they could have just at least gotten rid of that, even if they don't kill Ditcher a second time, but just negate that possibility of them being able to go full YOLO or anything like that. And still a nice win, I would say, for Vega. Good timing there to take that while they knew Metamorphosis was still going to be down for Arc, so they wouldn't have their full fighting potential there. And now with that Aegis in hand, a Yasha too. The draw currently looking at a BKB to follow up to his Yasha. Not a bad choice, just the general control of the Rubik in the center. War Runner.
Yeah. It seems like it would be really good. And the other thing is not hitting the rest of his team under his Winter's Curse. If you're able to get it off in time, can really make a big difference. So yeah, I'm liking it. Helm of the Dominator we already talked about, into the Yasha for the Troll Warlord, who is also queuing up the BKB, so not wanting to go back for the finish launch in Yasha. And the Hand of Midas for the Earth Spirit, so ensuring that late game possibility at least a little bit.
Yeah, plenty of Midases these days. Earth Spirit, I guess, just, you know, if you're good enough with the hero, maybe you feel like you don't need too much. Blink Dagger is fantastic to have, but you can also make plenty of plays with nothing but your brown boots and stuff. So as long as you can get the job done with the Midas, it's going to pay off later on, and talents have just made the item even more valuable.
Seneko. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. It feels to me as if Vega Squadron has this timing right now where they're quite strong and can keep on fighting, particularly with the Aegis, but oh my god. Chuvash, he ends up hooking a creep, and that reveals his position. Yeah, okay. That hurts. All right, why not? He gets the deny. All right, I guess that's worth. Use Magnetize there as well, so they don't have Magnetize.
All right, that's really lucky. All skill, surely.
Clearly.
That must have been it, yeah. Invis Rune going to be handed over to Xiaomi here. Maybe he'll try and find himself a jungling Terrorblade or something. Go for a hunt, but some riskier spots to walk on into with an Invis Rune. Sentries usually chilling in the area. In fact, he probably would have ran into some trouble right there for Misha, so.
Yeah. Don't want to run into trouble in the jungle. Still, Vega Squadron not opting to go for any big movement together. The Epicenter off cooldown. Sioma is now hasted and invisible, so time to go for a walk, see what he can find.
I think this is the right play from Vega. I don't feel like they need to push very heavily. I think just kind of chilling out with this Aegis. Now they have a BKB, sure, they can try and make an aggressive maneuver, maybe try and take a tower with this thing, but this is a single core lineup from the Radiant side, and although maybe we talk about like the Troll Synergy and stuff on the Dire side, it's nice initiation.
Yeah, in some trouble. They have the heal though that's coming in. Oh, Omni Knight lifted up. That was really well played, and now might have to pop his own ultimate. He didn't even get the mechanism off in that last one. Winter's Curse dropped down as well, and there is no way out for Hakon here. Who, well, okay. The rest of his team is backed off. That seems like a really odd decision. Like the rest of his team didn't want to show up.
Yeah. Pretty long cooldown to just blow like that, but it's gone now, so you can really do about that. Tower gets annihilated. And Vega, again, I don't think they really needed a massive win like that, but that's pretty huge for them. Because now this Troll is catching right up to our Terrorblade. Didn't even have to use his BKB. Aegis also not used, but pretty unlikely to get much out of it with only about 40 seconds remaining. I just feel like as this goes later and later, they're going to feel more comfortable having the core of an Ember Spirit and a Troll Warlord compared to what's largely a single core here for the Radiant side. Like, this isn't like Centaur is cool and all, and he gets his Aghanim Scepter and stuff, but he still just spells for the most part. It's not really all about his right clicks and it's like scaling attack speed and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious if they can make something happen with like a strong timing, but it is definitely feeling like they are the team that, if the game goes long enough, are going to be left wanting. But in the meantime, G is actually queued up a Battle Fury.
The old classic. Yeah, he's buying into it. He's doing it, ladies and gentlemen. There's been discussion about this, I guess.
I guess it's also against Terrorblade, so...
Right, that was like why he was the original counter. The OG, where you would just, the second he popped Manta, reflections and whatnot, you would just immediately go for it.
Oh, this could be a big moment for them, though. ILTW actually already uses the blink to get into a little bit more position, but he didn't... that was a little bit odd.
Out they go, yeah. I think G's just making a good read here and just saying that, you know what, they've got BKBs they're building into, they have a null field, they've got this pipe already done, my magic damage is already being so heavily reduced, and there's still going to be a lot of value from this Battle Fury this game, so he still went for the Veil, which is what I really like. I don't think you want to go like full old school Ember, but this build has some merit for him for sure. Mag setting up.
Oh my god, trying to go onto him. Has found a cone yet again. Mechanism does get off, but he's still silenced and brought down. They are able to kill off Seneko. Dichiara trying to hit Arc. Perma bash. He's never going to be able to make the stop. Sunder turnaround might be enough. The Winter's Curse though onto Arc. They managed to bring down Dichiara just barely as Arc is going to walk away from this one. And G trying to bring him down. 26 HP. It's not going to happen. He's down. Double for G, but still... the tower is going to be the thing to fall.
Oh, he was so close to Urn as well in the Rubik. I thought maybe the Urn as well as the null field will be enough, but not there. Wise decision, I think, from Misha, by the way, to max it out this game. Yeah, we've already seen the value, at least as to how close that came, but damn, those bashes.
Yeah.
That was actually absurd. Almost able to get down Eric, but that's Terrorblade, right? You got to get all the way there, or he turns it right back around on top of you.
God. What an impressive little display there. And again, also really good teamfight prioritization. It might be something a little bit worrying that you didn't get any of Omni's spells off and you were still losing that fight. Is that something to be concerned about right now for Vega?
Yeah, that's pretty scary for sure. Definitely shows they need to keep that focus going on him in the back line, though. Keeping that Yules like we saw previously, nice little play there. Sanking can like hop back there and just stun a couple, and Meg can just try and control up that Omni, build him that way. That's the dream. He's also moving back into more mobility. So he'll be going for the standard Force Staff, finish out his build.
Yeah, that's the way to go, I would imagine. And well, in the meantime, Chuvash has gone back for a hood on top of everything else. This does feel like they're heavily prioritizing just getting the magic damage mitigation, and maybe that's something where you end up getting the value out of this Battle Fury as well, that if everybody's committed towards magic damage reduction, they're not going to be prepared for all the physical that's coming out from Ember.
Yeah, exactly. It really adds a lot of merit to it. I mean, you look at Centaur and Pudge, they're both, it's like over 60% magic resistance in total with them, so very hard to chew through if you're ready to go the full like Maelstrom Radiant style.
G going to still be sort of flirting with danger here as he's over in the jungle. Hasn't revealed that Battle Fury either, so allowing the rest of the side of Comanche to continue to build into that. We'll see if anybody else ends up going into something like it as well. But Lotus Orb is going to be the item for Hakon. And it feels like this is going to be a strong timing for Comanche when they end up going for the full group up after the next Aegis, I would imagine.
Oh, man, I hope he finishes this Lotus Orb. I would love to see a reflected Winter's Curse. That would actually be so sick. That would be crazy. I don't think I've got to witness that one before.
Quite good. Who do you feel like is the Winter's Curse target? Just whoever you can get pretty much that's not Terrorblade?
The dream is Omni Knight next to TB.
Right.
That would be the best possible scenario.
Radiant's middle tower
if you could just have him well away, because if you don't get the Omni Knight, he's just going to pop Guardian's Angel anyway. So
right.
He essentially needs to be inside of it. Then again, the AoE is also pretty small Guardian Angels too, I suppose, but we'll see.
All right. So top lane, the next to be pressured in. Still only 2 tier 2 towers left alive right now for Vega Squadron. Meanwhile, there's still a mid-tier 1 in the mid lane for Comanche, and it looks like G gonna start dealing a bit of that damage. Hopefully gonna be able to hold on to this tower.
Yeah, his Remnant's a bit obvious, maybe slightly precarious here.
Yeah. They do have a blink, but not gonna be able to go for that initiation, as it looks like pressure onto tier 1 mid, trading for the tier 2, not gonna pop meta yet. They could think about going further.
I think maybe they might skip Roche too, like just being okay time to head towards it for themselves.
Mark is going there.
Where's Chuvash at?
LTW. Yeah, they'll just back out. So force everybody back, and Arc will keep on farming. Actually, that just heads out.
Look at that immediate D-ward from Chuvash too. I mean, it's a common ward spot for sure, but just the fact that he TP'd to that low ground, they immediately backed. He's like, yeah, there's a ward here somewhere. Just finds it straight away. So a ton of D-wards coming on the Radiant side of this game. They've had a really great eye as to what the Dire have been up to in terms of vision.
Yeah. And now also preparing for the smoke that they know could be coming in. Misha was just there over there on the other side, and it does not look like this is going to end up bearing fruit for Vega Squadron. Worth noting that Seneko is going to start to really ramp up his farm as well. Has the Blink and the Hand of Midas. This is going to translate into some big items later on, as everybody's getting set up and looking to fight around Roche. This is scary. I guess that Vega are going to force the high ground, and that should end up bringing back the rest of Comanche.
Yeah, and one thing is that with the Terrorblade, you like force out the Metamorphosis and you're happy, but with the Troll ulti, it's just such a low cooldown. Seneko
is visible there. The Reflection is actually going to break the Blink Dagger of Mag as well, so he is back out. All right. That was a close moment. They might have been able to set up for a great epicenter, but Reflection ends up working for it, and LG scouts out that Roche took a couple pot shots, but nothing more.
Yeah, I thought maybe they'd all TP back to the shrine, but they're actually just gonna stick around too. So Meg, they're pulling them back and forth between Roche and bottom, just not immediately TPing out. Huge play to not immediately to head back, because now Comanche is stuck in a bit of an issue here. Wolf will be scouting here once again. They have the good AoE spells to deal with this too. They have a shrine nearby. There's an observer, but it doesn't scout if you TP to this half. So still a relatively dangerous situation here. And now they're tier 3 in trouble. There's no glyph here.
Yeah, and I mean, not normally a great right-clicking lineup, but whoo, just off the mark right there with the hook. When they do have that troll ulti, it comes out. It ends up actually playing a pretty big role. So down to about half HP. This is a lot of damage dealt to this tower at this early stage, particularly against a troll who can take it really quickly. They don't get Roche.
Now they can't afford to. If they pop Metamorphosis, they could just be put into a terrible situation. And Arc wasting quite a bit of time around here too.
LTW controlled for the moment by G. Can just force him back and away if he wants to, and that's enough to break the Blink Dagger, at least for the moment, as they're not going to chase too much further. Aghanim Scepter done on the Centaur as well, so we are going to start to see the power of that come into play.
Chrysalis
are they going to get him?
G, no defensive item here. Not opting towards one, just wants more damage stacked up here, which makes sense to Battle Fury, but could put him in trouble.
They're hoping that they're going to be able to get a jump back, but are going to be able to find him. G taking the damage. Is it going to be enough? He is going to get it. Great angle there on Chuvash for that ulti. And bottom lane, well, they take down a good bit of damage, but Seneko is now going to be controlled. They couldn't actually find it. He's going to fall as well. Chasing a bit more. He's going to spot Mag, but LTW not quick enough to catch up.
All right, so finally trying to grab onto these guys have been rather annoying on these side lanes between the Ember Spirit as well as the Earth Spirit here. Spirit's down, but Mag is here.
Yeah, Ditya. Oh, quick
the
fingers.
raindrop
is in some trouble now, though, as he has the Diffusal Blade down, starting to bring down Chuvash. This might be worth it for the... Oh, my God, what?
Come on.
The second time this game. This has got to be so painful if you're Vega.
That's so funny. I always forget about that. Well, obviously, Mag forgot, too. He just throws them up the Yules, and he's like, well, obviously, he's going to be there, but
yeah.
Raindrop blocking that damage for the Blink. And now, again, they're trying to Roche, but it's not that fast, and they don't want to commit Metamorphosis, and back they go.
This is so frustrating, I'm sure. That being said, they keep on finding these kills, and Ditya Rock going to be controlled for the moment. They jump forward. Winner's Curse comes out, but still Ditya going to be able to survive through it. And they, or rather, excuse me, Arc will be able to, as Ditya did not survive through it.
Yeah, that's definitely worth for the Radiant. That's good. Finally, they got him.
And
No chance for a BKB to come out there.
yeah, Arc did have to use his first one, so 8 seconds is all he's down to now. Might be able to do something more with this Metamorphosis, but it's really hard for them to take this Roche. They need some more minus armor. And G is here.
He's still going.
Well, get bashed a couple times. Meta wearing low, but they are going to be able to force them back. Chuvash, large in charge, is going to get hit. A nice stun. Burrow Strike turnaround, though. The epicenter has already not been used, so they don't want to take that one. Eul Scepter lift up, trying to get them out and away. And now with Meta down, it's still going to take a while for Roshan, but nobody's pulling them back down towards bottom.
Yeah, this is starting to get a little bit ridiculous. Alright, now back inside the pit. There's still heroes nearby. Good wards being thrown up here. No time to D-ward. Now into the pit.
Mag is gonna, ooh, just off the mark with the hook. Nice
Curse back up in 5 seconds.
They can go for this if they want to. G is here as well. Misha sandstorming away, and Alditya also in the area. They're going to go for the epicenter. They're not going to be able to break this one. Guardian Angel comes out, and it is going to be Roshan down. G picks up the Aegis. They also got the kill on it. A ton of problems right now for Comanche ILTW. Looks like they're going to be able to turn on to Ditya though. Too much damage. Chuvash is not going to die to this, I don't think. Low on mana, he does not get the die. But Ditya still alive here. Akon. They are finally going to lose that Troll Warlord. G still with the Aegis in hand. Now ILTW catches onto Mag, 4 dead. They won't find G though.
Wow, despite the Aegis steal, and as well as the Roast Kill steal, for that matter. Not enough here for the Dire. Vega paying heavily for that one. And it's TV who's the big winner. Out comes out with 635 gold. And now well on his way to a butterfly too.
Oh. And, well, the unfortunate thing is, well, they found G, and he's actually, oh man, that was very close. The right clicks that are coming in bring him down low even further. But not a whole lot of great ways to deal with this. Oh, and stolen, that's Sandstorm, all right. I think
Lotus Orb, great pickup from Akon too.
Yeah. They can just throw the repel onto him immediately and not going to end up taking too much damage from this. Arc hitting away at the tower. Does have his BKB back up again if he wants to use it. Sunder is available, uses it! Last second, Arc, oh it hurts so bad. The tier 3 is down and they can just walk away. Mag desperately trying to get something from it. Rubik, Seal, and Burrow maybe overextended slightly. G turns now, is trying to fight, but Arc just turns to hit him as well. Now Troll now on top of Chuvash. Is it going to work though? They're taking away all of his mana. Is going to pop at the end as Hakon burrowed and brought down. But they are going to finally get that Aegis down from G as, well, they take down the Rubik.
Man, they're blinking, they're using this Omni Knight, they're throwing long range, Pele kicks this Omni Knight to stun him, and they're trying to bring down this damn Terrorblade, and then there's a Centaur with an Agnums, and he just pops ulti and he can't die. Now they're throwing Lotus Orbs on top of Terrorblade, they've got a Lincoln Sphere they can put on top of him as well.
Oh. Well, and we talked about the strength of this 2-core lineup. It feels like Comanche know exactly what they need to do to finish this off. Snako getting punched by the tower. Not often you see that on the high ground there. But the Terrorblade illusion given vision.
Well, despite getting the melee racks, but they did just throw away quite a bit. There's a comeback potential here for the Dire side. Didn't have to use any important buybacks or anything like that. Ditcherall got a double kill and now a tower, so he's rolling in at 3,600 gold. And as we get later and later, you know, Troll, he's a scary guy. He just stun locks you. He bashes you forever. He can itemize basically to anything he wants. I mean, this guy can even buy Sound Yasha and still win games, so clearly the hero must be good.
I really like the Diffusal choice. It ended up being really good. Like, if they get on top of Omni, just draining all that mana so quickly.
Yeah, and it sucks to have to go for it now. You can't purge the repel, but it's still Guardian Angel, and you're a Troll Warlord, so you don't really have much choice. And same thing, he has to go for this butterfly too.
Yeah. Well, that MKB gonna be online for Troll. Obviously, still.
That is the word I was looking for. Has to go for the MKB.
A little ways away. They have the data list on Ember, so. Smoke down bottom. They're expecting a movement here from Ember Spirit, but I don't know if he's actually gonna tempt fate.
Yeah, so said Butterfly is online for Arc, and so Defeasel for the Omni, and then MKB for up against this Troll. Ditchraw's getting what he needs, and certainly close. Probably can't afford to save for buyback. I think this one of the situations we just need the damn item.
They got G. Seneko there is also in the area, able to get the stun silence, and
Nice save.
yeah, well played. Knew it was coming. But last tier 2, and after this Shrines, we'll have to see how it works. Chuvash a little bit off the mark with the hook.
Oh, gee. Careful.
I gotta be
Not
careful.
really worth any real risk here.
God, but just look at the damage. Like, I don't know how exactly they deal with this guy. They need to get Troll on top of him, but if Omni ulti comes out, and look at this.
They know Sierra's there.
They're right on
pinged
top
him.
of him. The pink comes out. They are still going to hit away at this tower, taking a ton of damage. And well, G is there. The Burrow Strike connecting onto the illusions. Not really dealing with the fact that their melee barracks is going down. Arc is going to be hit, but they pop Mantis style. BKB as well. Ditchara is going to end up falling. They get the hook from Chuvash to save the day in between all of that mess. G also in trouble now, trying to remnant back out in a way. They are going to end up losing Hakon here, possibly. Really low, but not actually going to end up dying. There is the Burrow Strike with the epicenter, but the Sunder comes out, and Seneko left to left. They're going to end up dying here. They pull back in G. Comanche, they have done it. GG ends up getting cold, and they take down the favorites of Vega Squadron. Very well played.
Yeah. Again, they use this enabling double core strategy where they just, well, I guess I should say like double-sided terror blade. Wow. But I mean, that's what it is. They throw this guy into the middle of every fight, and they just have this kind of weird defensive secondary cores of Centaur Warrunner and Omni Knight. And Vega, I thought, actually did a great job on the supports. They were getting those backlines. Even in that last fight, they were constantly tagging up the Centaur Warrunner. He couldn't blink. And they were getting the Omni Knight used up in the air. But it's just so hard to get both of them at the same time and get the entire way through TB's health, all without getting Sunder. And I think was maybe one fight he didn't get a Sunder off, I feel like. Just exceptionally played here from our Terrorblade. Well-deserved shouting of your hero's name when you go 7-1 and 8 like that. And also level 24 from ILTW. Damn,
Yeah.
that guy got in a lot of battles. All 20 kills he was a part of.
That's crazy. And I'll just mention this real quickly too. You can tell Comanche they're really, really happy to be here. Like super stoked about everything. Keep in mind this is the team that almost beat Secret out of the open qualifying matches, going up to TI if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And then have stuck together since then. And we were looking at the earlier games that happened today, where it was Team Spirit facing off against LQ, and Arc actually came in. Arc came into that game because he has passwords obviously, and was like, "Good luck, everybody. Have fun." And he came into the games yesterday. He was doing the same thing. They're just like incredibly happy to be a part of these qualifiers and potentially one win away from being able to make it into the real playoffs for this. And I think they got a chance. Vega Squadron's still really tough. Trent, any final words before we go on to game 2?
No, just looking forward to more of these drafts. I don't know. What do you do? Can you really ban terribly the first phase? That's depressing. That's a moral victory right there for Comanche. But perhaps it'll be enough to give the actual game victory to Vega.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. We'll see if they're going to opt to do it. Game 2 just around the corner. We'll be back in a bit.